Namaste. My name is Jeffrey Armstrong, Kavindra Rishi. Our topic tonight is the ancient Vedic science of Nyana Yoga, the analytical study of how the categories of matter are not our true nature, or the yoga that liberates humans by freeing them from their misidentification with the categories of matter. And welcome back if you've been following this 5-part series on the 4 yoga methodologies of the culture of Bharat, which modern people call India, and modern misspoken but well-intentioned persons call the Hindu culture, though that's a sort of colloquial term now. This is actually the Vedic culture. I like to call it the Hindu Vedic Sanatan Dharma culture. That means, yes, you can put Hindu on if you'd like, but don't forget that yoga is the very heart of the culture we've been calling India. And yoga has a cultural premise that is not present in any of the 3 Abrahamic religions of Judaism or Christianity or Islam, and not present in modern science. So it's very important to remember that with yoga, you're learning something quite ancient, no less than 15,000 years ago, and most likely much longer, but provably no less than 12. Then this is a science that has been passed forward. And like any science, like the science of the technology we're using to communicate with one another, there's a language that carries that, and that language is crucial to the science. And so it is with this yoga. The next yoga, or Jnana yoga, is also known as Samkhya yoga. That term adds an element of analysis, analytical. So before there was what we now call science, there was Nyana or Samkhya. It is the analysis of matter into all of its categories. So you say, why is it different than science? Well, first, science came from it. What we call science has come from this Vedic yoga of Jnana yoga without saying as much as a thank you. It was colonized. But that's okay now. We're here together. Let's just say what things really are with the right language. So what we now call science is called Samkhya in the ancient Sanskrit language. And it means analyzing the difference between us as the Atma, as an Atma, as an immortal being who came here to visit, the difference between us and all the different departments and categories of matter. The study of that did not start with the so-called scientific revolution of modern civilizations. It has been going on for the entire time that Bharat, that the Hindu Vedic Sanatana Dharma culture has been operating. It was invented there. What is the process then? How is it a yoga? How is it different than a science only? Because the scientist doesn't get self-actualized by inventing a new programming language or making a circuit board for the computer. That doesn't make them more self-actualized per se. It just makes another product. So they're using a version of Samkhya, but its purpose is just the production of some material outcome. Samkhya, as a yoga, has a different goal. It has the goal of yoga, which is the same in Samkhya as it was in the 8-limbed Ashtanga. In fact, in this series, you're going to learn about 4 different, precise departments of yogic practice. so that the word has its true meaning. And you may remember, if you heard the last episode, that we then are all Atmas. We're beings whose name is An Atma, from the realm of Brahman, where everything is luminous, where time doesn't exist, where all of the forms we see here emanated from. The other realm of light, this is the realm of dark. It's called prakriti, prakriti, where everything is made out of parts sewn together and temporary. And here it's a dark energy. Brahman is a luminous energy. We, a spark of that luminous energy, came here and got covered in goo. Now that's crucial. Just think about that. As we got here, little particles of the goo here started to orbit us because we're a light, just like the sun is a light, but we're a little tiny one. So all the little particles of prakriti, of matter here, started clustering around us and orbiting us, and they built this thing that we call our body, or sometimes me, though that's erroneous. Yoga says, no, that's not you, silly. That's your clothing. That's your skin. That's your body. That's your stomach. That's the parts. And then a scientist is someone who knows the parts of your body. That's your stomach, that's your spleen, that's your heart, that's your lung, that's your skin, that's your fat, that's your muscle, that's your bone. What they don't know, though, smart as they are, and obviously they are, they're jnanis. They're very good at analyzing. And don't we sometimes say analyzing? Maybe they're a little too caught up in that to ultimately ask the right question. And that, according to yoga, that right question is this piece of matter me or not me? My guess is it's not me. If I let go, it'll fall to the floor. I know better. There. Now, that's settled. I am not that glass. It is separate from me. It's orbiting me. It's in my sphere. But what about this stuff? Well, isn't that just breakfast, last week's breakfast? Is it me? No. Little particles of breakfast last week. You are what you eat, right? No. Your body is what you eat. You are not your body. And this is the first premise of yoga. We are not the body that has clustered around us when we went from Brahman and came here and are now living inside the goo of the realm of matter. And so, one form of yoga is simply looking at this entire situation of our original self as an immortal being, a luminous being, whose energy is radiating. Remember, that's what chit is, chitti? It's the consciousness emanating through the matter. In spite of the matter, the consciousness is lighting it up. But if the consciousness moves on, the matter just goes poop. And no time at all, you wouldn't want to be around it. Your favorite person would not be fun the next day. 3 days later, ooh. A week later, okay, I'm gone. So that's not us. That's our car. It's getting towed away. The other creatures are having it for dinner now. But our problem in Western civilization and various places throughout the planet is that we've forgotten who we really are. And yoga simply says you need to learn to remember who you are. And one methodology we discussed, the Ashtanga yoga, you work with the body, bring it to harmony, and then you can see it's not you. The other way is to use that analytical faculty that we're all possessed of to decide what we are and what we are not. Now that's the pivot. So there's a Sanskrit term for it. Na iti, na iti. If I said to you, look around the room right now and tell me which things you are not. Oh, well, I'm not that, I'm not that. Na iti, na iti, na iti, na iti. So what if I say, now go to the level of the molecules? Well, I don't see them very well, but I guess they're there. So I'm not the blood, I'm not the this, I'm not the skin. That skin's not me, though I'd rather you not cut it, but it's not me. Na iti, na iti. So in spoken form, it becomes neti neti, not this, not that. I am not. So now, are you fire? Yes or no? No. Are you water? Well, no, we just did that one. No. See, the water's in the glass. Then I put it in me. I'm just a container for the water. This is just a bag of water with some fire burning inside. It's got some earth, fortunately, still holding together. It's got some air. And we're all existing in Akash. Oh, Sanskrit for space. Air is Vayu. Fire is Agni. Water is Jala. Earth is Prithvi. But that's okay. Those Sanskrit words match pretty well the English ones, at least in substance. So you know what I'm talking about. You can just look at all the different components, and this is what your doctor does. They don't say, you the heart, you the kidney are having this happen. They say, your kidney could be removed. You said, I'd like to keep it, but it's not me, not me, na iti, na iti. Now, to make this a yoga, you simply say what you're not, and then you say what you are. Na iti aham, I am, brahmasmi. I'm not from here, folks. Neither are you. According to yoga, we're just here visiting. And so we have to wear a diving suit. This is it. I hope your diving suit is well today. It makes everything much brighter. But we're not from here. And if they take away your diving suit and you get all panicky, then you miss the point of yoga. Don't be frightened. You're not from here. It's got to happen. So don't get all upset about what's got to happen. You may say, I'll miss the person. Well, that's fine. Yeah, you will. But can you stop them from going? No. So that it means you're not clear. So yoga is the clarity, and that's what we do when we say namaste. This isn't some weird handshake from India, from Bharat. This is acknowledging that the Atma is inside the vehicle, that there's a driver in the car. And I can see it analytically. I can see your whiskers. I can see your hair. I can see the nose hairs and the ear hairs. And I know that's not you. I don't focus on that. If someone came up to you and said, oh, hi, I haven't seen you for a while. Boy, your ear hairs are getting long. Nostrils, too. Have you had a haircut recently? They're not talking to you. They're talking to your vehicle. So from a yogic perspective, this is something that you don't have to. I mean, literally, Stephen Hawking could have done this from his wheelchair. I think he did. I bet he was a brilliant yogi because he hung out in that wheelchair for a long time, and he was cool. He was just, I'm chilled, I'm still fine, I'm still here. You can't make me upset because I'm just the voice and a consciousness. That's amazing. That's yoga. That was the yoga of wheelchair. And he was brilliant. So that means he'd done some serious thinking before in order to be a self so limited physically. But this is all of us. And this is what yogis look at. They go, look, someday it's going to go away. And when it does, if you panic, you'll be in trouble. If you stay chill, that's called Nyana yoga. It's okay, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. I just stubbed my toe. Ooh, 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 I'm not that, I'm not that. Yeah, we have to do it all the time. So Nyana helps you to not be swirling around with the chaos of the prakriti around you. Instead, you stay steady because you're turned within. So this is why it's a yoga. Your focus is upon you as an Atma. Then your chitti, remember chitti, media? Your chit, the consciousness that comes out, behaves differently then because it's clear, it sees everyone in an accurate and generous way. It doesn't get hung up on their skin. Come on, you do this all the time. The news has been filled for years now. It's been filled with the problems of seeing people as their skin. Come on, folks, get over it. Aham brahmasmi. We are not prakriti. We are the consciousness that's visiting. We decide not to like people because we don't know that like the shirt they're wearing this lifetime. That is ridiculous. Any yogi will just laugh. They go, oh, I'm so sorry you're stuck there. That's terrible. That's painful for everyone. Them, you, it's embarrassing. You miss all the fun. You don't get to see, I mean, what do we see when we see beautiful animals doing incredible things we didn't expect them to do? Is there a human hiding inside that animal? Sure seems like it. We have hundreds of millions of people in so many countries that treat their cat and dog like they're a human. They sleep with them, bathe with them, walk with them, talk with them. What are they doing? They're with the consciousness and pretty much ignoring the body. So it's the same thing. They're becoming yogis. They're learning that. So as soon as they've learned it there, you could say, okay, then now stop being prejudiced about people's skin or about their gender or about anything. How about that? How about we see them like this? How about we say, Namaste, I see you are actually a luminous, beautiful Atma, immortal being. So, object by object, category by category, a yogi scientist says, na iti, na iti. They don't throw it all away. They just say, it's not me. Just because you're not all the tools in your kitchen and the food in your fridge doesn't mean you should not say, oh, well, then I'll throw it out. That's so, don't do that, please. It's, don't throw this out. Use it in a balanced way. This is called the opening of your, did you ever wonder? Third eye. Your third eye sees na iti, na iti, na iti, but it's not open in the people that are still trapped in the surface of reality. They can't see inside. Yoga takes us in, makes us into who we truly are, puts our focus within and our analysis without. So we don't analyze everyone we see until they ask us to. But we know what they're not, we know what we're not. We don't chase their body. How many people have been traumatized by people hating their body, liking their body too much? If you get a really great one, people never leave you alone. Ask the beautiful ladies. They can't walk down the street without getting tortured. Everyone sees them just as the body. Oh, hey, there's a person inside. Nice boobs. Oh, come on, get a life, grow up. So na iti. We're not any of that stuff. It's okay, it's useful, but it's not us. This is called Nyana Yoga. And if you don't get it, well, Nyana, 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 you don't know what's happening. But it's not that difficult. You do come equipped with the equipment to do this. And oh, by the way, it's called Buddhi in Sanskrit. And it gave us the word Buddha. If you'd like to be a Buddha, do Jnana Yoga. My name is Kavindra Rishi, Jeffrey Armstrong. See the real you next time. And have a namaste.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net.